Hi, welcome to Forex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 30th, 2010. A lot of news going on this morning. Very busy day, so I just want to jump right into it. This morning I'm talking about a tale of two Europes. Now, we're taking a quick look here at Euro USD. It just actually flipped to negative. It was positive earlier. But I'm talking about the dichotomy between the PIGS countries, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, Spain, and Germany and France. And, the difference between the two is very striking. Because right now, France and Germany, those economies are operating on full cylinders, and meanwhile the PIGS countries are struggling to get their debt and their deficits under control. So I actually have equated this to a good Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Alright, first the good in the Eurozone. German jobless claims fell to the lowest levels since 1992 as exports picked up there, most likely due to a lower euro. In addition, in the Eurozone, CPI data rose 1.8%, which met analyst expectations, so that was seen as a good number. Now the bad is Moody's downgraded Spain's debt rating one notch, citing a weak economic outlook, but giving it a stable passing grade, if you will. So there was concern that Spanish debt was going to be taken down 3 notches, closer to junk status, but that didn't happen. So while that's bad, it's not actually ugly. Now the ugly we're talking about is Ireland, and they're preparing to fully bail out their banks. They're talking about the tune of 50 billion euros. Okay, but they're still insisting that they don't need to access the EU emergency lending facility. So, believe it or not, going into starting the day, that was actually seen as somewhat positive for the euro. Now, the reason why the euro was seen as positive is because we had a lot of anti-dollar sentiment going on this morning, okay, and one of the reasons for that is that U.S. GDP figures came in 1.7%, which is highlighting a slower pace of expansion. All right, now initial jobless claims also came in better than expected, but it's still marginal in the grand scheme of things. If you think about it, we're still, we're talking about a difference of 20,000 jobs when the numbers are around 450 losses per week. So it's still not so hot here. Okay, Canadian GDP figures came in here real quick. I just want to show you. We'll look at dollar CAD. All right, you can see right here, Canadian GDP figures came in as expected at minus 0.1%. So their economy actually contracted a little bit for the first time in nearly a year. So, one would think that this may be negative for the loonie, but in fact, it was seen as positive. Go figure. It's basically, once you meet expectations and, the economy bakes in what's happening, as long as it's not worse than expected, these things can be seen as positive. Just real quick, Aussie was higher. Looks like it's given back some of its gains. Okay, they had lower than expected building approvals and also consumer credit, although the banking sector was shored up and they came in with profits that were up nearly 15%. Just want to show you the Kiwi trading the same way as the Aussie. You can see here it's coming down 74. I've been marking that as a little bit of resistance there for some time. Okay, their business confidence figures fell to 14-month lows, and that takes the rate hike almost nearly out of the equation. Lastly, no need to look at pound today, not much happening. But we have yen strength across the board, and we had it until, well, it looks like a little bit of dollar strength here. Now, I don't know where these movements came from. It looks like as the markets opened, perhaps it looks like the equity markets may have flipped around. Futures were higher earlier. I'm guessing that, well, no, it looks like stocks are higher right now. It's a little bit of an oddball sort of day happening. Okay, we had yen strength, and that was because Japanese manufacturing figures came in much worse than expected. All right, so this also just took the Nikkei lower. When Nikkei goes lower, that usually takes, you guessed it, the yen higher. So yen's been strengthening going into that, and now there's talk: are they going to have is the Bank of Japan being tested? Are they going to further intervene in the currency, or is this really just a futile attempt with the dollar weakness we have going on with the threat of quantitative easing 2 coming out of Ben Bernanke and company at the Fed? So we're going to have to see how this plays out. So as you can tell, it's a pretty busy morning. A lot of conflicting reports going on here, but major theme to watch was dollar weakness, yen strength. Looks like perhaps we're flipping around here, though. As we look at this now, we've got dollar strengthening versus yen, and we have dollar strengthening versus euro. Is it doing anything to the loonie? Yeah, possibly coming back a little bit. So maybe the dollar's not as weak as we think this morning. But, getting back to the Eurozone, talk about the difference between the haves and the have-nots. Germany and France those economies are rocking. They're basically holding up the Eurozone, okay? And the pigs countries, while, they're trying to get their debt under control, you can see that the strikes around the region and protests about austerity measures, have really shown people's displeasure. All right, now one of the things that I haven't even really talked about yet, and I wish I could devote a little bit more time to it, was that the House of Representatives here in the U.S. passed the Chinese yuan currency manipulation bill. All right, and if this thing actually goes to Senate and passes, this could really heat up a trade war with China. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So a lot of volatility in the market. You can see we've got some pretty big moves happening today. I hope you traders are enjoying it as I have. And, basically, I just want to wish everybody good trading for the rest of the day.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.